Um, it's on the website here. It's Screencast-O-Matic, and very very similar. But basically, here's the deal. A lot of you guys are already on the Pi app. I've taught this class. This is gonna be my third time through, I guess you could say. I was a master's program student myself just a handful of years ago, and I've been teaching at Fresno Pacific for over 3 years now. And I was a math teacher in my old life. I've been really really enjoying the adjunct life, and also now I work in education technology for a company called Open Ed, which has a large formative assessment library paired with resources, and I get to be the head of content, and so I get to do anything on the site. Oh, fantastic! You've heard of us. Um, and anything on the site that has to do with content, I helped create over the last year and a half. So I lead an international team of content curators with math and English and science, and it's been a really really good job. It was really hard for me to leave the classroom, but I already kind of left the classroom in some regards. I was doing professional development for the past year for Fresno Unified in Fresno, and I was doing technology and a lot of literacy training. And so when it came time for Open Ed, they offered me a job. Actually, I was at a technology conference like last year or 2 years ago, actually now, and I went out on Twitter. I put out there on Twitter saying, "Hey, I'm going for a run. Who wants to join me?" And the CEO of Open Ed saw the tweet and came out for a run in Palm Desert with me. And so we went on like this pretty grueling like 8 mile run. We're like jumping over snakes and jumping across rock chasms and stuff. Like that's not even a joke. And at the end of the run, he's like, "Well, hey, slow down for a little bit." And so he offered me a job. And so my goal is to integrate technology in any way possible, but also be mindful of the fact that sometimes technology isn't always the best solution, right? I mean, here we are doing this great webcast, but if I could have like 3D technology and bring you all into the classroom, that'd be great too, right? I mean, I was the kind of teacher every day. I'm using whiteboards with students' answers alongside technology-based formative assessment tools. I think that the key is we always want to be kind of mindful of what do our students need at that moment. And so one thing that I'm really going to try and harp over and over again in this course is what is the best tool for the job. And one thing that I actually already posted here, this great little graphic in the face-to-face class on Saturday, we were talking about SAMR, and that's one of your first reading assignments. So we're talking about SAMR and depth of knowledge. So not everyone was familiar with that, so let me just briefly go over this. So in the Common Core standards, there's this thing called depth of knowledge, and basically there's 4 levels of depth of knowledge, right? And DOK1 is like memorization, DOK2, basically the higher it gets, the more critical thinking that you're going for. And so this SAMR, which is again in your reading, stands for substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. Now, you look at this, and some people would say, all of this, we want to do redefinition every single time. But my point is that a lot of times, especially in a K-12 setting, or some of you are in maybe more non-traditional settings, right? We can't reach for the stars until we've built the rocket, right? So we have to really make sure students know what they're doing. They have to know why they're doing it. And we as teachers need to feel comfortable implementing technology so that we can actually make a valuable case for education. Welcome, Linda. Welcome. So I love this graphic. It makes it really, really easy to see where we're going with this course. And so the way I organize things, I do have an intro video for intro. I am muffled. Okay. I'm actually sick a little bit. That could be it. But let me raise my computer up a little bit. All right, how's that? I can't see my video, so hopefully it's not like at the wall or something. Is that better? Oh, no, yeah, it's just that I'm still kind of sick, sorry. But okay, I'll try and talk a little bit louder. I'm alone in my office right now, so basically there's an intro video for you every week that kind of just runs through the expectations for the course. And I basically have a reading assignment every week and a couple forum posts and usually an assignment or two. So I'm focusing a little bit more this course on some of the education technology on some of the education technology research. Okay, there we go. You should be able to see me now. All right. I'm focusing more on the education technology research this course so that you guys have a really good foundation when you do your projects later on. The hope is that you'll feel more than ready. So just all I need to do with you today is, that was my intro. Basically, my goal is to help you stretch your boundaries further than you ever have before when it comes to using technology mindfully, and also really help you organize yourselves in a technology way. So we're using a few tools. I'll just run through them. There's number one, there's Pi, which is brand new for me in this course. So it's an experiment. So so far it's going pretty good, but any feedback that we have is going to be appreciated. So there's Pi. There's Mendeley, which I know you guys have used before, but I'm really going to try and actually push you to use it to its full capabilities. And also I encourage you to, I've included some more tools on Moodle, like I'll do some Zaption integration, and I'll call things out, like trying to get you to use Twitter to expand your professional learning network. And if you are uncomfortable with anything, that's totally fine. Some things I'll say, here, try this. Some things I'll say this is required. But I will not ask you to do anything that I have not done myself in an actual classroom other than this. So just know that. So let's talk about Pi. Especially with an online class, one thing that I've always hated with online classes is that you get to know your students only through email and through maybe forum posts, right? And I think that those of us that have been in the classroom, we know that really the best part of the classroom is often those random conversations that happen. You're talking with a student before class starts, and maybe they'll make a comment like, hey, I was reading, our reading yesterday applies to XYZ topic because of this and this and this. It's something that you wouldn't have thought about before. And so what I'm hoping to do with Pi is to get those more, I guess you could call them like those random moments. Nice. Those like random moments of conversation. I'm hoping that Pi can kind of help happen. And so what it is it really is like a chat room, really. But it's kind of it's a threaded chat room. It was actually designed more originally for like face-to-face professors in like huge colleges, which, no offense to Fresno Pacific, but we don't really have these giant lecture halls at Fresno Pacific, right? And so the idea with Pi is that it's kind of this live feed that you can use in your class. That's kind of like a walled garden is what we call it, is like the technical term. In other words, nobody else has to see what we put in there, but we can all see it. So within this, you can tag specific people. So I'm just going to go say, hey, Kinsey, and I'll just say Laura, hello, right? And I can insert an attachment on here. Okay. I won't just because whatever, but oh yeah, whatever. So I can put a graphic on there. For those of you that are maybe looking later on, if you have like technology issues, you can actually attach like a screenshot on here too. So whether it be Windows snipping tool if you're in Windows or if you're on a Mac, you may or may not know you can get a screenshot or a picture of your screen by holding down Command Shift and then 4, and then it lets you take a screenshot, right? So, and then you can do threaded comments. So my hope, like eventually, I'd love to replace forums. I'm not going to do it yet, but the problem for me with forums, and I can't click on these because I've graded some of these now, but they're always these kind of flat structures, right? So if you see 10 forum posts, and I say, hey, make sure you grade 2 people's, let's be real. If it's Saturday night, I know you're going to pick the first 2 people that you see have the least amount of replies and probably respond just to them, right? But what I'm hoping to really do is Pi is a place to really have these great discussions with each other. I strongly encourage you when you're working on assignments together to post on here what you're doing. I'm sure at this point in the program, you guys are already have like your buddies that you email saying like, hey, what are you doing on this? And oh, I'm doing this, you know. But put it on Pi. Start talking about what you're doing. Get that creativity flowing, and we can actually pretend like we're a real kind of face-to-face interactive classroom together. And the best part is we have students, you know, all the way from Africa and everything, right? All across the United States and everything else. And so with Pi, you can just kind of catch up on what people were talking about, but it's only just for us. If you are on Twitter, feel free to follow me at Dorman Math. But just know that I actually hit a limit. I didn't know there was a limit on people you could follow, but you can only follow 2,000 people. And I need to trim my following thingy before I can follow more people. So I'll write down a little bit, but anyway. So Pi is great, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the results that we get for this class. Uh-oh. Dale lost his connection. Is everyone else still okay? We all still here? Okay, good. But see, isn't that the magic of Pi, right? Because Pi's on your mobile device too. So so you can download an app for Android or iPhone, and then always kind of stay connected to what people are doing on there. Hey, Dale, sounds like is that you? All right. Okay, so that was Pi. The first assignment is Mendeley here. So let me just show you briefly how Mendeley is working. Yeah, somebody, if you could mute yourself. Right. Let me go on here and see if I can mute everybody. Oh, no. Okay, if you can make sure that you mute yourself, please. Like click there's a green icon for your microphone and click it so that you mute it. Mute yourself, please. Okay. Oh, you can see my too? Okay. Anyway, sounds better now. All right. So let me just go into Mendeley, and then I'll pretty much let you go. So Mendeley looks like this. You download it. You do need to get like a username or password, but that's okay with what it says. Just sign in. And what you're going to do, these are actually actual research documents from my original paper, and there's actually a video on here too showing you this. Okay, so what you do is as you go through like a specific assignment that I'll give you to read, I'll have you go through and make highlights and notes. So typically, for the first week, I'm just asking you to do like 5 highlights or notes. And then what you're going to do is, okay, so I've only made like 1 highlight and 1 note. So this is a way that I really want you to be taking notes on like these scholarly documents as you go through them. And that's what I'm grading. And then what you'll do is you'll go here and you'll say File, Export. And you're just going to say, if you could export PDF with annotations. My apologies. And just give me the notes. Don't give me the article because I know about the article. So just export the notes here, and then save it. And what's really cool is what it does is it creates a PDF of just your highlights and your notes, and turn that into me. And this is a fantastic tool. I will provide the articles for you. Yeah. So like this first week, okay, well in this case, I ask you to search for one on Google Scholar. I can give you technology research. Oh, I think you're asking about that. Yeah, this one I'm asking you just to go to Google Scholar. If you've never used Google Scholar, let me just show you that. I'm kind of hoping, yes, it can be used on an iPad. Kind of hoping you've heard of Google Scholar before. If not, prepare to be amazed. So if you're using Google Scholar, let's say I'm searching for formative assessment. I can go through and I can actually say, I only want to see the newest articles and sort by date, right? Okay, I only want to see everything. So you're going through and you're finding all these great Google Scholars, and then usually you can see like the abstracts and whatnot, but sometimes, hopefully, of course, use something that you get a PDF because you got to download the PDF and put it in your Mendeley. So here's a PDF. So you would download this, load it into Mendeley, and then do your notes. But even better, you can just hit Cite right here, and it actually will give you the citations as well. It's a really great tool. So I'm just asking you to find like one article. If you want, I can just post like a sample article that everyone can use. That's totally fine. I'll go ahead and do that, tonight. Because I'm not sure how far in research some of you guys are. So you take your article for this first week. It's just do it simple one. Give me 5 notes or annotations. Sure. Yeah, exactly. Right. And then you just go through a Mendeley, and what I'm looking for, when I said study, what I'm looking for is just observations, right? So maybe even questions. Like, to me, I think, aren't questions one of the most important things that we should be doing as educators, right? So if you ask really good questions about your scholarly article that you found, to me that's just as good as your opinion, because I mean it's one article. We should never be changing our entire approach to life on one research article. Yes, I will. So let's just do it. Okay, so I want this article. So I'm going to go ahead and download it. So I'm going to say download article when it finishes loading. Of course, it's slow right now. Okay, so download my article. Mine looks different than yours. Don't worry about it. Okay, so it's downloading it. It's going to be saved in my downloads folder. It's called document 3. That's descriptive. I'm going to open up Mendeley. So Mendeley, you just go to mendeley.com, and you should be able to download and install that program. And then in Mendeley, I'm going to say add file. And I'm going to go over to document 3. I need to clear my downloads folder. Okay, document 3. Here we go. That is something different. Well, you get the idea. Okay. So I open it up now. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to highlight certain things on there, things that I think are really important. A note is maybe you want to put on there, you want to say, I love this research. Okay, oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you love research. And then you're going to go here. The key here is once you're in the document here, go to File, Export PDF with Annotations, and then unclick where it says Article, because I don't need to read the article over and over. Okay, and then hit OK, and then save it. And that's what you turn in. Okay, and I can write those steps out too. But again, there also is an intro video for week 1 that also goes over those steps as well. Okay, so we went over this. Some of you have already started doing that. Things about you, great. Reading assignment for module 1. I'll go ahead and post a sample that I think is really like a really cool document that's short too, that you can just use as your sample document. And then you're going to upload it here. Okay, copyright and fair use. I used to have like an entire section on copyright and fair use, but now I've taken those resources and put them across the course because it's so important that it shouldn't just be one section. As an example, all of you I was gonna say raise your hand, but I'm assuming most of you have heard of Google, and if you have, you've probably heard of Google Images. So in Google Images, typically, let's say I want to search for elephants because elephants are awesome, right? Now, most of us have probably taken these elephants pictures and you've downloaded it maybe and you've put it in your PowerPoint and you thought to yourself, "Oh, I'm safe because I'm a teacher," right? Well, no, not really actually. What you should be doing if you're going to be using something and representing it. I mean, obviously, you always want to be attributing where you got it from, but also check this out. There's what's called search tools on here, and what I usually do, just because I work for a company now too, I'm not really protected by like the fair use of a teacher, but I go here to usage rights and I say labeled for reuse, even with modification. And these are all the images that for sure I can take and I can reuse them. I can put them on my presentations, put them on my internet page, whatever. And it's totally like okay. Anything on Wikipedia is typically published under what's called the Creative Commons license, and it's going to be okay to use. Also, with this one too, I don't know if everyone knows this, but it's an amazing thing. You can actually search for pictures from like the past week, and I can search for pictures that are only like photos, and maybe I only want to search for pictures that have the color orange in them. Oh, okay, well. You get the idea. There's so many like cool tools on here that people just don't even know about because Google doesn't really advertise them because they're Google. They don't need to. Really cool stuff. You can also say you only want like high quality pictures. Okay, I have no idea why searching for an elephant gets me a camel, but anyway. Sometimes you just don't know what's going to pop up, right? But anyway, so this is really cool. Like this whole copyright thing, very, very important to us as educators, especially as international educators. And so that's just one thing I think that you should all know. And did you know, for example, okay, I can't help it. If I search by image, I can upload an image of, let's say I have a picture of something that I would just love to search for. Okay, so this is like this is my first job last year. So let's say if I can find more pictures of things like that. I upload the image. You can actually take a picture too if you have a camera. On the Google bar, there's actually a thing you can take a picture of something. Okay, now obviously I put in a picture of my little tiny baby, and they found pictures of the moon. But obviously, it works really, really well sometimes. I've taken pictures of like a stuffed octopus. No, I think it works on Google in general, but I'd say it probably works better on Chrome. Yeah. Yeah, I've taken pictures of like a stuffed octopus, like a stuffed animal, not an actual stuffed octopus. And it found like actual pictures of the real octopus it was based off of. And so I just love this tool. I took a picture of myself, and ironically, I'll just for fun, I have a twin brother, identical twin brother. So I took a picture of myself, and it brought back pictures of my twin brother, which was a little bit creepy, but kind of cool too. So okay, that's kind of an aside, but I think it's just amazing how much information is out there, and that's that. So the way the course is going to work, the first assignment, the standards are a bit on a continuum, but basically the standards, when you go through them, they will ask you to, yeah, it's like every lesson isn't going to hit all the standards, right? So you might say, the standards I'm really going to work on are A, B, C, D, or A, B, and D, or whatever it is, right? You're not going to hit all the standards every single time you do an internet enabled assignment, no. So they're separate goals, that's fine. Okay, and then the web quest is pretty self-explanatory. Basically, we're going to be building a web quest at the very end here, an interactive one, of course. And this is self-explanatory in terms of just there's a video that explains the steps. There's some examples there. And then for the assignment part, what I'm asking you to do is kind of organize like or upload like just kind of a template. And I've already gotten one. And there's a couple examples on here. well, not on this one, but on the WebQuest page. So it'll take you to like a mind map of kind of basically it's like what do you want to give to kids so that they can explore. And then every Tuesday, I'm going to be archiving and also giving like an agenda for different tools to be using. Um, and I will record that and send it out to you. It'll be like about 20 minutes probably every Tuesday night at this time, actually. If you can't make it, no problem. But basically, there's so many web tools out there. I wouldn't have time. I mean, by the time I put them in the course, there'll be a different tool next week, right? So I just decided to make that the live section of class. So every Tuesday at this time, I'll be going online and showing you like what I do with the Google stuff, just different ways to use different web tools, and sending it out. So for this class, this first week again, it's just the reading, the notes from Mendeley, copyright and fair use, which you won't use now, but you will later, and then the WebQuest stuff, and that's due by Sunday at midnight. Week 2, I'll open up probably this Friday once I've gotten some more assignments. And again, I have an intro video for you about what week 2 is all about. So the Tuesday night normally is just used for like tech tools and stuff. So anyway, that was a ton of information. I'm so sorry, but I'm just glad. I just wanted to kind of introduce myself, and I'm not always this excited, but sometimes I just can't help myself. It's very exciting. I love this class. And you guys I really enjoyed watching a lot of your presentations too, but I know you've been on for a long time. So I'm getting ready to end. So any questions, just know, again, there's an intro video. You guys are amazing. Oh, yeah, normally I'll do 6:30-ish, I believe. It works better for me personally, if that's okay. But again, I will record it, so if you're late, I know you said you had like practice or something. So if you're late, don't worry about it. Just catch the recording afterwards. And the way I'll set up the recording, I'll just show you that too. I use a tool called Zaption. Yeah, I'll do it through Adobe, absolutely. But then I'll take the recording, and what I'll probably do is I'll use Zaption. And what you can do with Zaption is you upload a video on there, and then I can actually allow you to post comments on the side of the video as it's going through that I'll see. So if I'm showing like a new tool and you have questions, you would just put your questions on the side of the video as it's going through, and I'd be able to see that. Yeah, I'll put it on Moodle, absolutely. Okay, so I'll do that like for next Tuesday. So the recording might take like an extra day to get up there, but it's still be getting it like on Wednesday. That'd be fine. Let me just show you real quick what Zaption looks like. It's one of my favorite tools. And then we'll get going. So Zaption is basically, again, Zaption is completely free. Yeah, there's like a premium which lets you ask more questions and stuff, but the regular part is free. Oh, and I'm not logged in, so. But anyway, it's an amazing tool. So you can actually put like multiple choice questions on there too. Okay, let me turn the sound down. I can't. Okay, but as you go through Zaption, again, it's just going to let you. There it is. This is from like last year's class. So see, they actually have these great quotes as the video is playing. It's pretty amazing. So I'll do this for our actual tools. Screencasting. Yeah, if you take a screencast, you can put it on Zaption, absolutely. But it wouldn't be recording your screen as you go. So anyway, I'll let you go. If you have to go, I'll let you go. If you want to stay after a little bit and ask questions, no problem. I will be online on Pi until about 9 o'clock tonight if you want to get your assignments done. You've probably noticed by now that I'm pretty fast to respond to that, so feel free. You can also send me private messages if you don't want to ask everybody, but it is helpful for me if you do ask everybody sometimes, because that way they can respond, and if you have a question, somebody else probably does too. The syllabus is updated every week. It just says exactly what assignments are due on the syllabus is how I did it. And then again, the intro videos are less than 2 minutes long. I try to keep them nice and short. That way you can get a really good glimpse of what's ahead and kind of what to be expecting. So thank you all for your time, and I will talk to you later. I'm going to stop recording now, and we'll see you later. Good night. Thank you guys.